It looks like another cool, windy, but a beautiful day. Got more wind than last weekend, so hopefully we'll have some fun. Wind is blowing directly from the north across the Chesapeake Bay. Tack to starboard. We're approaching the Lesnar Bridge. Last week, the current was going out. This week, it's still coming in, almost high tide, as we're around the edge of the bridge here. I want to try something different today. And we're going to follow this beach. I'm going to stay fairly close in. On the EC, some of my course plottings follow the beach within a half a mile. We've been following the coast, about a quarter mile or so offshore. We're pretty close, but there's some pilings and sandbars, so I pulled it out a little bit just to be safe. Listen to those birds. Last week, there were 12 bulk carriers out there. Today, still 12. We are in our jib configuration. Perfect day for it. Had to play around with some of the lines. We're starting to head away from Glen Haven shore. And we'll tack back and forth towards the Bay Bridge Tunnel. I've got a few leak in the hatch issues on the forward hatch. As you can see, I've been taping her down. Put a watertight bulkhead just after the mast. I really like a dry boat, but I hadn't been able to lift the hatch. Keep on getting about a cup or two every time I go out. Not sure where it's or how it's getting in, even with it taped up. I've been watching the bow, see how the water splashes over it and which way. We are approaching the Thimble Shoals Channel. That's the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel opening here. And we're to the other side now. The second Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel crossing is almost to our port now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross the Baltimore Channel, and then I'm going to tack across, get a little bit upwind, cut between the two tunnel openings, and then head down the other side of the Bay Bridge Tunnel. We had to tack over to the other side. Wind keeps on veering towards the west. So we're right in the middle of the Chesapeake right now. Well, the wind is dying now. About another mile and a half towards windward. We're going into the Baltimore Channel. On this course, we're pointing at the Cape Charles Lighthouse directly in front of us on a horizon. To our starboard is the third crossing. And that's Fisherman's Island right in the back of it. Wind's kind of died down. Boat's making me sweat. Good exercise, good practice. Looking at the bulk carriers, they're all pointing towards the Chesapeake. That means the tide has reversed, and I'm working my way against the current. Coming to the edge of the main channel here, you can see the difference in the water. There's some currents, some deep spots. I'm just coming off the shallows here. And we're finally crossing the top of the Bay Bridge tunnel here. Man, I worked so hard trying to clear the end of the bridge. Hoping that it had the wind. A little bit, kind of a little nice reach. Pick up a little speed. Have the current taking me back out towards the Lynn Haven. I got the current, but I got to clear the end of the bridge over here first. Wind, nada. The wind has started coming up a little bit, but now it's coming directly from the direction we need to be going. Finally, we're coming up to the bridge crossing, the tunnel crossing over here. It's been kind of a long and noisy trip following the bridge here. I'm down to 1.8 knots here. The current splits up over here as it hits this island. Gotta work it through. We say goodbye to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and Lynn Haven in the distance. 4.5 miles to the bridge. Got a big ship coming down on us. First time I've hit over 5 knots in hours. But we are dead ahead. We'll have plenty of time to cross. And we made it. Passing the southern side of the Bay Bridge. Looks like we're good. Here comes the container ship on the other side. Got a little wind just in time, pushes through. Definitely don't want to mess with these guys. Faster than the average bear. Hey, boo-boo. Oh, man, now this is what I've been waiting for all day. It's getting cold out here. I love the free ride, but boy, it's cold. Sun's starting to go down a little bit. Pitched a hat in favor of a cap. It's getting too cold. On top of that, the tide is going out. You can see the buoys leaning over. Still moving. Moving pretty well. Pass under the bridge, we have lost our wind. Current's coming out. Get up on the other side here. I have to tighten up my jib again. Tide is really low. Just ran over a sandbar. The sun goes over the horizon. We have turned a corner here, heading for Dix Creek. The tide is so low, can't use the Mirage drive. The wind's not doing anything. Got everything up, using the paddle just to get myself through the shallows here. Back of the trailer was about above waist high on a ramp. That's how low the mud was. Now we're ready to go home.